Well, good evening. Welcome to the Brian Crombie Radio Hour on Saga 960. We've all been going through, a strange time during COVID-19. And I think we're all in need of a little bit of inspiration and hope and self-help and self-love and all that kind of stuff. And so I wanted to reach out to someone who has posted some interesting things on social media. So I connected up with Dorothy Knight, who is a Reiki master. She's a certified Reiki master practitioner and a teacher in the UC method of natural healing, and she's also a certified yoga instructor. She says, grateful to share her gift of the healing arts to help others connect towards self-awareness and to help guide them to find and fulfill their own purpose with curiosity and joy. I think it sounds fantastic. And what she says is that we're all responsible for our own healing. No one can do it for you. So Dorothy, if we're all responsible for our own healing, why are we talking to you? You can't do it for us. How can you help us?
That's true. That is very true. I am just here to facilitate your own self-healing and by providing the tools to help get that underway.
Okay, so how do you do that? You do it through Reiki?
Yeah, so Reiki, it comes from, essentially Japan. And Reiki is two words, so it's Rei and Ki. Rei being universal and Ki meaning life force. So basically, if you are living and breathing, there is this energy field that surrounds you, and that is called the Ki or the Chi in Chinese medicine, or prana in Sanskrit. So everything.
This is a what that surrounds us?
Energy field.
An energy field that surrounds us.
AKA your aura.
Okay, my aura. And how do I know if an aura exists? How did you come to believe in an aura?
Well, if you practice, you can actually see it. Anyone can see the aura.
Really?
And a great way to do that, actually, this is a fun thing for you to do with your family or on anybody that is willing to participate. If you get someone, the best thing to do is have them wear a light color top, like a white shirt, and you're going to have them stand or sit against a white backdrop. So this is where you get to play with your vision a little bit and kind of let go of the rational mind that wants to analyze everything and make sense of everything. So if you actually just sit there and you relax your gaze, your focus, you'll start to see this bluish outline around a person. You can even try it on a pet or a plant. You will see this auric field around them.
And this auric field is the universal
universal life force that surrounds you and fuels you and moves you and energizes you.
So how does the universal life force move you and energize you?
All right, so now we're going to get into chakras.
Okay.
The yoga community, I say chakra, you nod and smile. You know what I'm talking about. For everybody else, it's okay. I'm going to tell you what a chakra is. So chakra is the Sanskrit word, and chakra means disc, wheel, spinning wheel. So energy is always in motion, and it moves in a circular motion. If you even think about this, right? We're on planet Earth. Planet Earth is spinning. The Earth spins around in orbit. Right? Everything's moving in a circular motion. Energy never stops moving. It's always in motion. So if energy is moving, it's good, it's flowing. When stuff is not flowing, that's when we feel what we call blockages. We feel tired, we don't feel grounded, we feel confused. So chakras, essentially, there are 7 major ones that are actually located with around the auric field within the body. So you can't actually see them. They're just energy centers. Okay. So they start at the crown of the head, and then you have one at your third eye here, your throat. There's the high heart, your heart chakra. At your belly button is your solar plexus. At your navel is your sacral chakra, and then you have your root chakra. You also have minor chakras, so like in your palms and in your feet, which help ground down that energy, right? So the way I like to explain it is, if everything's working and spinning and moving, the energy always comes in through the crown chakra because it's so high vibrational. This is very high vibrational energy that's coming in from everything above and beyond you. So it enters through the crown chakra. And now you guys know the 401, right? If you live in the GTA, worst highway ever. So think about this. Okay, you're driving on the 401. We're starting on the on-ramp here, your crown chakra. You're making your way down, and now there's a roadblock. So this is now a blocked chakra. Then you have an accident here. Then there's another traffic jam, and that current becomes very much congested, like the traffic on the 401. So by the time you're getting down to your root chakra, because of all these obstructions, the energy is not flowing perfectly. And it's seamless circuit, right? Because it has to find its path down, but there's all these roadblocks or emotional, physical, spiritual blockages. And then that energy gets very weak by the time it gets to the lower chakras. Hence feeling the ungrounded, the fog, the doubt, the anxiety, the uncertainty. And then that manifests itself through physical symptoms.
We're chatting tonight with Dorothy Knight. She is a Reiki master. We're talking about self-help, self-love, taking care of yourself, healing yourself. We're going to take a break for some messages and come right back. Stay with us. Well, welcome back to the Brian Crombie Radio Hour on Saga 960. We're chatting tonight with Dorothy Knight, who is a certified Reiki practitioner. And she says that healing yourself is up to you. And so, Dorothy, if I came to you and you were going to do a Reiki session with me, what would you do? How do you impact my energy field?
Well, there are two ways of doing a Reiki session, and that's the beauty of it as well. So an in-person session is very much like going to see your massage therapist. So I have a lovely massage table. You're fully clothed. You lie down on the table and you just get to relax and let go of the stresses of your life, right? So I use my palm chakras. Lots of energy flows through these. And I work on every chakra point throughout the body. And I just gauge, I scan the auric field, see where energy is imbalanced or where it's in excess or where it's just completely low and not vibrating the way it's supposed to. So I would work on all of the energy centers. And in one session alone, like you restore all of the chakras and the energy starts to flow a little bit better. So even in one session alone, you will notice a significant difference.
Why? How? Are you dealing with some blockages or something?
Yes. So the way I explain how Reiki works is think of yourself as a cell phone, right? We're very much attached to our devices. So you would want to take good care of yourself more so than your phone, right? So you are the phone. The Reiki practitioner is the charging cable. And I, being attuned to the Reiki energy, am plugging in to the socket. The socket is the key, the universal life force. So I have a crystal here. Let's pretend this is the cell phone. This is you. This is me working on you. And I'm tapping into the infinite quantum field of energy and I'm drawing it through. I am the conduit. So I'm not actually giving you my personal energy, ever, ever, ever. I'm drawing in and bringing in the universal life force through myself as a neutral pathway. And you actually facilitate your own healing at your own pace and space because this energy is just universally intelligent. So it knows exactly where to go for your own healing and well-being. When I do a long distance session, again, we're tapping into the quantum field. So I don't actually have to see you in person. So I tune into the person's energy and I, through my mind's eye, I work on every energy center and I can send this energy healing through time and space and long distance.
Okay. Can you do that to me right now?
I can. I have to focus. We have to be in a specific frequency together, but we can.
Okay. So I'm focused. Are you focused?
Okay, I have to switch gears now. All right. You know what? I want you to feel the energy actually in your palm chakra first. Okay? Everybody can do this if you're listening. Okay. So I want you to sit nice and tall.
Okay, nice and tall.
Nice and tall. Very important that the spine is nice and straight. because that's where all those chakras, again, as I talked about earlier, are located. So you want the
Gotcha.
energy to flow nicely, right? So you're gonna sit nice and tall. Imagine that there's a string pulling the crown of your head to the sky, okay? Bring your shoulders to your ears and roll them back. Okay, let's close our eyes. Bring your awareness down to your feet, to the soles of your feet. From here, you can imagine or visualize roots or cords going deep into the ground. This is how we ground ourselves so that we feel very physically present in our body. Because a lot of us are very energetically top heavy. A lot of stuff sitting here because we're always in our heads. So this helps you instantly come back into the body. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Beautiful. Let's do that again. Deep breath in. Let it go. One more. Deep breath in through the nose, filling up with all that life force. Exhale. Okay, now you're going to bring your palms together. Let's rub our hands. This is signaling from your brain to your hands. Energy centers opening because everyone has healing energy in their palms. So you're creating this friction and this heat. Now, bring your palms together and you're going to feel the heat and the energy flowing between your palms. You should feel something.
Yep, like it's like static energy or something.
Oh, you have static? Okay. So, yeah, and then you can play with this and see how far you can bring your hands apart, how strong that flow is between. So usually when someone, like my students, are attuned to Reiki, this flow, this current is much, much stronger. And then you can do a self session. So you can place them over your eyes. So you don't want to actually touch your eyes, just maybe hover about an inch or two. And if you've lost that flow of energy or heat, just rub your hands again together. This is also called palming if you practice yoga. And this is actually really beneficial and revitalizing for your eyes. So if you look at a screen all day or you wear glasses, this is really nice to do. It refreshes the eyes. You're just bringing energy back. Yeah. So this is what I would do. Like if I'm working on the third eye or the crown chakra, that's the sensation more or less of what you would experience. Same thing if I'm doing it long distance. So I would focus on you and then you would likely feel something energetically shifting. Not necessarily, it's very individual.
Makes a little bit more sense to me that if you're doing it live in person, it would have more of an impact, would it not, than virtual?
Not at all, no. I'm actually getting, because of COVID, I'm doing more long distance sessions. And people love it because they don't have to leave their house. They get in their PJs, they go in their room. I tell them to get their favorite music on. We chat quickly and discuss what they're feeling, what's going on. And they're off and I do my thing and then we reconnect again and they feel it. They feel it all. It's amazing.
Awesome. Why do people need this?
Why do people need this? Don't we all want to feel better? We all want to feel healthy and happy. That is your birthright.
But why do you think energy gets blocked? Like, why is it that that you need to have a Reiki session to unlock blockages?
Because it's your own way of managing your energy. It's so empowering to have the tools to do it first and foremost for yourself, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. And then you can fill other people's cups. So you can help your family members, your children, and you show up for the world very differently when your energy is flowing. It gives you more clarity in your life and purpose. You start to live very intentionally and less so in the logical mind in the head. You start to drop down into the heart. This is what I called heart-centered living.
Heart-centered living.
Heart-centered living.
You had told me that there's some connection between mind, body, and soul that you wanted to talk about. What was that?
Well, everything is connected, right? We have this experience that we believe we are this human being having this human experience, but we're actually a spiritual being having a human experience.
We're actually a spiritual being having a human experience.
Yes. This body is just the outer shell. It's your physical vessel. By all means, we are meant to take care of it. Treat your body as your temple. It'll serve you well. This is the only vehicle you get to live in. This is your only home. Wherever you go, this is the one you're taking with you. So you want to do a good job taking care of it. And that starts from the inside out. So whatever's happening on the inside is always going to be reflected in the outside. As within, so without, as above, so below. It's a universal law. So if you're feeling a certain way, you're projecting that into your reality. It's never the other way around. It's not life is happening to me, it's life is happening for me. That's the whole. Yes.
Sorry, we're chatting with Dorothy Knight, a Reiki master. We're going to take a break for some messages. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Brian Crombie Radio Hour. Self-help, self-love, healing yourself is the topic for tonight. COVID-19's put us all in a strange situation. People talk about mental health issues rising dramatically. And so I thought we'd connect in with Dorothy Knight, a Reiki master, someone who really believes in healing yourself and Reiki and energy and chakras and things like that. And so she's talked to us about how we are a spiritual being having a human existence, not a human being having a spiritual existence, which I think is kind of an interesting thought. And then we talked about the connection between mind, body, and soul. I think I might like to come back to that. And then she talked about heart-centered living. Was that right? Heart-centered living?
Yes.
And living
from the heart.
And living with intention. And so, great concepts, and we're going to come back and talk about those a little bit. But she also wanted to talk about something that I've got no idea what it is. She talks about cellular memory. Dorothy, what is cellular memory?
It's a tongue twister.
It is.
Cellular memory. Okay. So the body never ever forgets, right? The body is like your living storybook. So whatever you have experienced in your childhood and through all of your developmental stages, your body is holding on to those experiences and those memories. And that taps into the whole subconscious mind and unconscious mind. So we're really only conscious of a small percentage of our thoughts every day. Everything else is being driven by the subconscious and unconscious mind. So think about, for example, your reactions. Like let's say there's a particular family member that you have and you always react the same way to them. So there's a trigger happening here, and that is stemming from cellular memory. So maybe that person is mirroring something to you that you experienced in a relationship or another family member in your childhood. And every trigger, so anything that gives you an emotional reaction or response, is truly an invitation to learn something, to dive deeper into yourself and understand why you are responding the way you do, why you make the choices you make every day. They're driven by this behavior, these memories that are stored within your body. So another example, I had a ski accident when I was younger. I injured myself. So now anytime I'm on a slope, anything's attached to my feet, my body immediately recalls that memory. It goes into flight or fight response, right? So I'm afraid of crashing into a tree again or hurting myself. So we have to retrain the mind and the thoughts and the belief systems and the patterns that are driving our choices every day. So we can technically program ourselves. So your body being like a computer, the brain being the operating system, it's kind of like you just need a reboot, an upgrade to your operating system. So
how do you do that upgrade to the operating system? Is that through Reiki? Is that how do you retrain your cellular memory?
Yes, you can. Because if that energy is blocked and sitting in that chakra, well, it's not moving, right? You can't clear something that you're holding on to, especially if you're unaware of it. So at least through Reiki, we start to, like the iceberg, we tap into those levels and the iceberg being all of those memories deep below the surface of the water. So Reiki, being so intelligent, it works on the mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual body. And it works very symbiotically together at a very natural pace and space. So like a lot of people go on these spiritual journeys, you know, they take like ayahuasca down in South America because they want to heal quickly. We're such a society that wants really quick results. I can't promise you quick results, but I'll promise you long-term results that will really change your life. Especially if you're going down the fast result route, it's dangerous sometimes, and you're not emotionally, mentally, or even spiritually ready to accelerate that quickly. And Reiki, on the other hand, is always just so beautiful and intelligent. So it really works with you.
What is the quantum field?
We're in it. It's around you. It's above you. It's below you. It's all around you. It's multidimensional being. So we're not living just one reality.
We're not just living one reality.
No, no. You think you are because this is the only one you're conscious of.
Oh no, where are you going now? Okay, so what other realities am I living?
I don't know. That's for you to know or you to find out.
Okay,
But
so you think that we're living other realities, and what's the benefit of knowing that you're living other realities in this quantum field?
the benefit is that you get to create the reality that you really want and not the one that is dictated to you.
So I can think that I'm 20 years old and in great shape?
Absolutely. If you believe it, you will conceive it. It's all mind over matter. Matter is energy. You are energy. Your thoughts are energy. They hold a frequency. So it's like a computer. Whatever command you're feeding the brain only responds to the command, to the message, to the instructions, to the energy you are giving it. That's it. Because the universe doesn't speak English, it speaks energy. That is our currency.
Okay. So I believe in the power of intention. I believe in being positive. I don't believe in the power of positive thinking, but I believe in intention. I believe in goal setting. I believe in visions, or having a vision. I believe that if you think something and work towards something, the chance that it comes true goes up dramatically.
Yes.
But that I'm in a different reality, I don't know. That goes too far for me.
Well, because on Earth, we are living the human experience, right? Where, again, this is the one that we all know. It's familiar to us because it's very physical. This is known as the third dimension, right? We're all experiencing this reality as human beings going through life. But if you meditate, for example, or even if you're dreaming, you're not in 3D anymore. Now you're entering into 4D, for the fourth dimension and higher. So children, for example, naturally are able to experience these dimensions, even in their waking hours. So if you ever see a kid just kind of spaced out, or they have imaginary friends, are they really that imaginary? For us, it doesn't make sense. But if we encourage that creativity and imagination in kids, they'll keep those abilities and those gifts. Just because we can't see something doesn't mean it's not there. Because it's not believing is seeing. Seeing is believing.
It's not believing is seeing. It is seeing is believing.
Yes.
Okay. I gotcha.
Yeah. Just think of everything that exists around us. It all started with a single vision. Every single thing that was invented started with an idea. That idea had energy. With inspired action, we manifested the thing into reality to make it material. That's exactly how our intentions and our thoughts work. That's how the energy signature around those things operate.
Okay. I look forward to doing a Reiki session with you sometime.
Oh,
Um,
I'd love it.
COVID-19 has thrown, everyone a curve.
Yes, yes.
How do you recommend we best deal with the situation?
This is so many layers deep, and even through my own observations and experiences, it really is such an individual experience. However, we are all working through it together. And this is the most exciting time to be alive. And I tell you why.
Okay, that sounds good.
The one thing that COVID has, if anything, encouraged us to do is to spend time with ourselves, spend more time with our family unit or the ones closest to us. And that could be both a lesson and a blessing, because I'm sure a lot of things have surfaced for people with relationships, right? Because suddenly
Divorces are supposedly up big time.
yeah, they're up. Oh, that's sad. But maybe that's the lesson and the blessing, because
Babies too, though.
babies are what? Sorry? People having
Pregnancies
babies?
too. Pregnancies too. So people are either getting pregnant or they're getting divorced, it would seem.
So the lesson and the blessing, there you go. The lesson being the divorce, the blessing being the birth of a new child. But everything, it's like you can't sweep stuff under the rug anymore, because we've lived in this reality, going back to reality, where it was very much a hamster wheel. Think about it. What was your routine like before COVID? I know for myself, it was very function, input, output, drop the kids off, do the lunches, do the thing. It was so routine and autopilot. And a lot of us operated that way. And
Yeah,
this
no question.
happened. And it's like the rug was pulled out from underneath us. And suddenly we have this term called the new normal. But the new normal is whatever you want it to be, right? This is where it's exciting to be alive, because we have this opportunity. It's an invitation to, number one, get to really know yourself first and foremost. A lot of us don't know ourselves. I'm sorry.
Lots of people say that. How do you get to know yourself?
You have to spend time with yourself. And that
Doing
could
what?
be,
Sitting? Not watching
yes,
TV, obviously.
yes. Turn off the mainstream entertainment cycle. Turn it off and turn inwards. You've got to go within, or life will not make any sense. It'll make sense on the exterior level, but then again, you're going back to the old way of being, when you can be so much more, when you can live so much more with so much intention and purpose and passion and joy. And that's how
Intention and purpose and passion and joy.
Absolutely. The system we've been in, life has turned you off. We've been turned off to life. I want people to be turned on to life again. And that's an inside job. And that means you got to work through some really deep stuff to understand. It's like spring cleaning for the body, for the mind, for the soul. Because think of all the thoughts you're recycling every single day. Why not replace them with the better thought, the better feeling, the better reaction or response?
And you do this through what? Through meditation, through having a Reiki session, through self-hypnosis, through writing down pros and cons about who you are and what's happening in your life. Like, what is it you do? Like, I understand what you're saying as far as the objective, but
Yes.
what do you actually do? How is it that you find out who you really are?
It's all of the above. All of the above. It's whatever method calls to you. And I know a lot of people follow whatever other people tell them to do, but this is where really feel into whomever you're listening to, even us right now. Feel. What are you feeling as you're listening to us? Be aware of what you're consuming, not just with the food you're eating, but what you're consuming with media, the news, what you're reading, what conversations are you having? Whatever you're absorbing, you're holding space for those things. So that's something you need to be really conscious of, because it's going to dictate how you live your life. And then you're not really living your life if you're filling up and holding other people's stuff and their energy that's not even yours sometimes to begin with. So get to know who you are, what really lights up your soul, what garbage story you've told yourself and believed to be true. This is all part of self-healing, is really facing yourself head on, looking in the mirror, look into your eyes, and really feel into who you are.
Sounds like it's
the hardest journey that you'll ever take in this lifetime.
Sounds like it's work that we all need to do. There's no question.
But it's soul work, and it's the most important work you'll ever do.
And do you help that with people, or you think that through Reiki it becomes easier for them to do that?
Reiki is like your invitation to experiencing your intimate connection with Source. The one that you've always had in time immemorial, but we've lost. We've lost that connection.
With Source. We've lost the connection with Source.
We've lost the connection with everything greater than ourselves. We think we're so great and intelligent. We are, but there's always more. There's always so much more to reach for. And your soul wants you to expand. It wants you to fulfill itself in its full potential so that you can help others do the same. And that's the only way this world will heal collectively, is if we're bringing each other up on this journey.
Well, some great suggestions. You also said that you had some tips for us on how we could boost our immunity.
Yeah, so the simple thing is the stuff I touched upon just a little bit earlier. Number one, just really be mindful of your day. So from the moment you wake up, what are the first thoughts you're having? Okay, are they positive, or are you already off the diving board and swearing at people and mad at all the drivers around you? You can totally control all of that. Remember, it's not what's happening around you, it's how you respond to it. So for example, in the morning, I like to bookend my day. So the first bookend in the morning, as soon as you wake up, bring those feet to the ground, ground into Mother Earth, thank her for holding you on this beautiful planet that is our home, and with gratitude, start your day. Say something that you're thankful for, and state something that you intend to do today so that you have some source of inspiration to take that action and really live intentionally. And then throughout the day, we're human, life happens, right? It's easy to get pulled away from our beautiful, peaceful center, but you'll remember that you intended to have a better day. You promised yourself something that you would do. So it quickly brings you into the role of the observer, and you can make a choice. Every moment you have the opportunity to decide. Do I want to go to the old way of being, how I usually respond, or can I use this as a moment to make a shift? So again, reaching for the better thought, the better belief system, the better approach, and ask yourself, no matter what you're doing throughout the day, how can I bring more light and love into this situation? Instead of just reacting, we're so quick to react. I call this practicing the pause.
Practicing the pause. What's
pause.
the pause?
All right, guys, the pause. Number one, pause. Just stop whatever you're doing, okay? If someone's getting on your nerves and you just really want to, retaliate and say something, don't say something. Just hold on. All right. You're going to close your eyes, or you just stop wherever you are and just see what's happening around you. Then number two, ask yourself, is this true? Is what the person's saying to me true, that I need to state my opinion, or do I need to react a certain way? And is it true for me, right? Three, see where you're feeling this in your body. This is where you're holding energy. So for example, if someone said something and you feel your stomach just like tying up into knots, you have some imbalances in your solar plexus chakra, because those words are triggers to, again, cellular memory. You're retrieving a response to something you've experienced before. Yes. And then 4 is very empowering. Decide. Decide how you want to react, how you want to feel, how you want to respond. And it seems like a lot of steps, but this happens like in quantum time, right? It's just like, boom, decide, feel, where's this happening? Do I agree? Yes or no? Continue. And it's kind of like,
but bottom line, it's really good advice, which is think before you respond effectively. Take a moment, step back, think before you respond.
Don't think, feel. We think too much. Your ego isn't always right, okay? The first voice you hear, that's your intuition. That's your higher self. That's your divine self. The second voice, the third voice, that's your ego.
But
that's your rational mind.
Too many people just react right away to whatever the action is. They just react, and we've got to take a time out, as you say, take a break.
And that's the state of the world right now. We're in a very reactionary phase, but a lot of people are starting to dig a little bit deeper. So spirituality is definitely becoming a mainstream thing because we want something better. We want to feel better. We want that positive experience. Even though the spiritual journey goes through negative experiences, the result we want is positive.
Well, those are some great tips. Thank you very much. Dorothy Knight, if people want to connect up with you to avail themselves of your Reiki sessions, how do they do that?
So many ways. So you can go directly to my website, which is DorothyKnightReiki.ca, and you can book your session online, easy breezy. If you want to, follow me on social media, maybe learn a little bit more through my posts about what I talk about and understand and feel me out, you're going to go to Instagram on my handle, which is Dorothy Knight _Reiki. And then I'm also on Facebook. So just Dorothy Knight Reiki is my Facebook page. And that's where all the good stuff is happening. So even on my website, just go feel out the page and see how it makes you feel. Tune into the frequency of what I do. You'll have a pretty good grasp of it. So the first step would be to book a session if you'd like to experience the energy, especially if you're new to this stuff, you're new to Reiki. There's a lot of information on my website. You can tune into my blog, learn more about the chakras and all the stuff we're talking about here. And then sometimes the client journey leads to the student journey. So I have a lot of amazing digital courses that I've put out there this year, and I'm hearing such great feedback. Like, people are really experiencing transformations, and it's the most satisfying and rewarding part of what I do is being a part of that journey where people suddenly get it. They wake up and they have that spark in their eyes. It's that soul coming back online. It's amazing.
Well, Dorothy Knight, Reiki practitioner, thank you so much for your inspirational words and giving us a different way to think about COVID-19 as an opportunity to ground ourselves and take a time out. All society take a little bit of time out and get to know ourselves a little bit better. So thank you very much for that.
It's been my joy and my pleasure. I'm so grateful to have this opportunity and to share some light and some hope out there, because our world is changing. It's scary. It's a lot to navigate through in all different facets of our lives. But at the end of the day, it's you running the show, and you decide. You get to design your destiny. And I think that's very powerful. You start to claim your sovereignty, and you don't hand it over to everybody else dictating how you should live your life. And you get to really start showing up for yourself every day. And then that in turn translates to how you show up for the world. And we're all here to show up for each other, and we need it more than ever. And that is the beauty of our collective consciousness and collective collaboration and the earth that we are creating right now. So thank you so much.
Well, there was a great movie that you remind me of. I think it was called The Knight's Tale, and peddler, or the blind father, tells his young son that you can change your stars. And I think that's what you're saying, is that you can change your destiny. You can figure out what it is you want to do and live with intention, and change what the course of history is going to be for you if you decide and you work at it. Thank you so much, Dorothy Knight, for joining us.
Yes, heaven on earth is right here.
Good night, everyone. That's our show for tonight. Really appreciate Dorothy Knight joining us and inspiring us a little bit. Maybe we can spend some time this weekend giving it all some thought. Good night.